All right. What is up, my friends? And welcome to Studio Day Heffrey. I am Jeff Kavanaugh. And football season is officially back because it's not officially back until you get to watch the games from the all 22 angle, baby. So football's back. And we have Cowboy things to talk about from Cowboys Rams. I have all the things that I found relevant. You can ask questions if you'd like, if you're in the live chat. And I'll answer to the best of my ability. But I was watching for certain things, and those certain things are the things that I plan to talk about, and that includes Trey Lance, Mazy Smith, DeMarvion Overshown, Jalen Cropper, Marquise Bell, Damone Clark, all sorts of things. So, hi. Where should we start? Should we start with Trey Lance? You want to start with Trey Lance, or do you want to start? Oh, Cooper Beebe versus Brock Hoffman is about to be a thing again. Oh, look at the camera improvement from the potato camera used on the West. It's the same camera. Took it with me. Favorite unhinged take you've seen about this game? You got to send me the what those unhinged takes are. First things first, let's talk about Trey Lance. I am excited to talk about Cooper Beebe, though. I thought Cooper Beebe was really, really good, and his snaps were really, really good. And if he can do that, he can take that job. And I didn't think that was the case in camp because nothing about the way that they were practicing said that they were going to give him a chance to take that job. But Cooper Beebe was the better center in preseason game number 1. But we'll get to that. Definitely start with Lance. I think it's more apparent now that we lost the bet on that 4th round pick trade. I agree. Yeah. That can change because here's the thing about Trey Lance. Trey Lance needs the right situation, and I don't know what that right situation is. Like maybe it's a team like the Raiders where they're just going to give Aiden O'Connell a chance, and I think the odds of him being a good NFL quarterback are probably low. But they're like, hell, we got nothing else. Let's just give it a shot. Trey Lance needs to play a bunch of football. That's what he needs to do. But right now, he looks like the same guy that he looked at like in camp, which Trey Lance looks like a guy that is not consistently accurate. If it's not the first read, everything gets clunky and slow and weird on him. He's got a huge arm, and he's a wonderful athlete. That's Trey Lance. The rest, he's got to play a bunch of football. Sails a bunch of deep balls. If the first thing's not open, it's not bang, bang, bang. It's more and it just gets clunky and it gets weird. Same attitude when Dak plays. Let's not make excuses. You mean the second team All-Pro runner-up for MVP? Yeah, sure. The day that Dak is consistently inaccurate, sailing balls, and struggling to get past his first read, I'll be sure to point it out. So when that happens, I'll let you know. So, yeah, I think they lost the bet on Trey Lance. The weird thing is, what are they going to do at quarterback? I guess my assumption was always they're going to keep all 3 because there's no benefit to cutting Trey Lance. He's a first-round pick in year 4 of a contract, so that money's guaranteed. There's very little benefit to cutting Cooper Rush because he's your better backup quarterback and he only makes $2 million. And so that's weird. I think they keep all 3, or they cut Rush, telling him we're going to bring you right back. We're going to keep people on the roster and we'll bring you right back. Because if you did not have access to Dak Prescott on a Sunday right now, Cooper Rush is playing quarterback. That's what's happening. So anyway, that's your Trey Lance stuff. Next on the agenda, let's go with the one that I find the most interesting. The one that I find the most interesting is if you were at Cowboys training camp, there is nothing about the way they were doing their center rotations that made you think that Cooper Beebe was going to end up with an actual shot to be the starting center. And I've changed my mind on that off of one preseason game. When they first drafted him, I thought that he would have a good shot to be the starting center. But then you go to camp and Brock Hoffman kind of owns that job. They weren't giving Beebe any first team reps. Hoffman looks really comfortable. They are very comfortable with him calling everything, and he looks fine. And Cooper Beebe has inconsistencies with snapping the football and what to do right after snapping the football without just kind of lunging forward. And so it looked like, oh, okay, so this is going to be Brock Hoffman's going to be the center. Then preseason game number 1 happened. And in preseason game number 1, what did we learn about our 2 centers? That Brock Hoffman's okay. He's a better pass protector than he is a run blocker. I think when it comes time to run block and when it comes time to get to the second level, you're not going to be moving people, mashing people, consistently getting things done past that first level of the defensive line. And when Cooper Beebe came in the game, things changed. He wants to hurt people. And all of his snaps were good. He didn't have a bad snap. And that's probably his biggest thing. If he doesn't have a bad snap and he's comfortable with the communications of playing center, he should be playing center. Hoffman might be a little better pass protector, maybe. But when it comes to firing off this ball and moving people, Cooper Beebe's way better. The Cowboys' run game, having a chance to be better than last year, might depend on who plays center. If Cooper Beebe plays center, you can move some people. And by the way, the guy to his right and to his left in real games, they can move people. It's a thing again. I thought it wasn't going to be a thing. I think it's a thing again. Justin, I'm confused how Ball graded out well from his back. What is it? Graded out where? I thought Josh Ball was okay, better than I'm used to him being, but Josh Ball also looked on at least 3 snaps super clunky in pass protection and off balance and losing guy. Never led to a sack, but he looked okay. Was proud of Guyton. He was smashing folks. Yeah, Tyler Guyton in the, what did he play, 11 snaps? Looked good. He looked good. How did Andrew Booth look? He played 2 snaps, and he looked okay. His numbers online were mid-90s for Ball. Okay. If you'd have told me he got a 72, I'd have been like, okay. 90-something? Would Beebe at center be a 1-year thing with Martin most likely retiring? No, I think if Beebe wins the starting center job, he's the starting center for 4 years or longer. How many wide receivers will they take into the regular season? That's another good question, because my guy Jalen Cropper deserves to be on an NFL team and deserves to play on an NFL team, like not just be the 5th or 6th guy. That's what I saw from him in camp. And he did have a double catch in this game, and one where maybe he had a chance to get that last yard if he knew exactly where he was, maybe, but it was a late throw to the sideline, so maybe not. Jalen Cropper should be on an NFL football team. For sure. Oh, you're right. 21 for Guyton. No, yeah, the guys who played 11 snaps were about a lot of the defensive starters. Got 11 snaps. If Cropper doesn't make this team, somebody should claim him and somebody should put him on the field. He's in a weird spot with the Cowboys. Although I tell you this, my hopes are going up that he can make the team, because you know where I saw him yesterday? On the first team kickoff team. You know what backup wide receivers got to do? Play special teams. So that was good for Cropper. He's the best separator on this team that's not named CeeDee Lamb. So if CeeDee's on the team, Cropper's been lining up a lot of the places where CeeDee would be and running a lot of the routes that CeeDee would run. And so maybe that makes it more of a challenge, because what do you do when you have CeeDee? And it's like, I don't know how much he's going to play in that scenario. But I don't think there's any reason he doesn't play snaps with CeeDee and Cooks. Nobody plays 100% of receiver snaps. He should play. But they also have Brooks. They like Tolbert, blah, 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 blah. But my guy Cropper is an NFL player. Will Stephen Jones get majority of team ownership over Charlotte and Jerry Jr. after Jerry's gone? Thanks for the super chat. I think it'll get interesting, because I think a lot of people assume it's Steven's team after that, and I don't know if that's true. Let's see. I don't think Jerry Jr. will be involved, though. I think we'll have a figured out with Steven and Charlotte situation. And let's see. Maybe Alexandra gets in the mix. Maybe not. Do you think they're hiding Tyron Billy Johnson? Did he play? Yeah, he played. He had a kick return. He played. I think that Tyron Billy Johnson has had a nice camp. Schottenheimer likes him a lot. But I think Cropper's outplayed all of those guys. Flournoy had a bad game. Well, we have a drop, a fumble, a penalty. He put it all together. Jeff, please don't give me hope for a family fight, which results in the sale of the team. I doubt it. Hi, Jeff. Where's Jesse Holly been? Stay tuned. Maybe something's coming. Okay. Now, next thing, Mazy Smith. If you watch the first drive of Cowboys Rams, I think Mazy had a nice game. A nice little game. Good hustle play down towards the goal line for a tackle for loss. Against single blockers, did a nice job holding the point. Did a nice job of being able to disengage. If you watch the second drive, I think Mazy was okay-ish. If you watch the third drive, it looked like Mazy was done. So where are we? Mazy is improving. We will have to adjust expectations and just forget where he was drafted. I think the new expectation is and hope is that Mazy Smith can be a starting nose tackle that is a solid run defender. That's the new hope for Mazy. Let go of anything you care about the first round. Now we're just hoping he can be a starting NFL nose. And it's possible. He's still trying to get weight up. He's still coming off of a surgery. They're still trying to get him consistently technique sound. And I think his cardio is not good. I think right now he's a 15 snaps, give or take 20 snaps a game guy. And then Carl Davis is going to have to play 15 to 20 snaps. And then you'll have a bunch of third downs and stuff where you don't have a nose tackle out there. That's where we are with Mazy. When he's fresh, he's got a chance. As the game goes on, he faded out. Next, I thought Marshawn Kneeland is off to a good start, especially as a run defender. Didn't offer a lot as a pass rusher. Nobody really did without Micah and Tank out there. But as a run defender, Marshawn Kneeland's playing NFL football right now, no problem. Mason's in the super chat. Crazy thought. Say Bell is on par with Wilson. Could we trade Wilson for a legit one tech? I like outside the box thinking because you know who else I wanted to talk about in this? Marquise Bell. I think Marquise Bell and DeMarvion Overshown were the best players on the field yesterday. Marquise Bell is really good. He's out of position as a run defender when he has to play linebacker, right? But last year, if you talk about on passing plays, he's an awesome linebacker. Marquise Bell needs to be on the field. And I don't know if that means that you're finding a way to play 3 safeties in certain scenarios, or if Donovan Wilson's coming off the field some, or if Malik Hooker, I don't know. Marquise Bell's a hell of a football player. And they got to find a way to get him out there. DeMarvion Overshown. Awesome. It was 2 of the first 3 or 4 plays. DeMarvion Overshown's making big plays in the run game. And it's just the sudden athleticism and ability to find your way around blockers or beat them to a spot because of acceleration. He looks so good. And he looked really good in coverage too. That's when you're a kick-ass linebacker, is when you're not just a downhill player. Overshown looked good in coverage too. I think there is a decent chance that's going to be the best linebacker on this team. Damone Clark, I thought, was solid. I think Eric Kendricks will be solid. He wasn't out there. And I think your 3rd round pick, Leafau, is clearly linebacker 4 behind Kendricks, Overshown, and Clark. Those are the guys. Bell didn't show up in coverage against elite team. Okay. If that's a reference to the playoff game against the Packers, I'm curious which defensive player showed up. We should just cut them all because the defense was atrocious. Every single one of them. Marquise Bell's a baller. Overshown's a baller. Good players. Mazy did not benefit playing next to Huggins. Comparable numbers, 58 to 68. Huggins did not play well. Huggins was awful. Huggins isn't going to make the football team. I wouldn't worry about that. If that's your comparison, I wouldn't worry about that. Mazy might have been the best nose tackle in that game. Carl Davis was solid on some plays, but yeah, they're iffy at D tackle. They're iffy at D tackle, especially when Osa doesn't play. Junior Fehoko is just blown off the ball on every single play. He's not going to make the team. Huggins is not going to make the team. I didn't think Justin Rogers was very good. Carl Davis and Mazy were the ones where you're like, okay, there's some good plays and there's some iffy plays, and that was okay. So there's that. What else do I have from notes from the game? Oh, Kaylin Carson. Scott had a few bad ones. Maybe Eric Scott makes the team because they're going to keep 5 corners, but let's see what Booth has, who they just traded for, because I'm looking for a 5th corner. Like Scott had missed tackles, dumb penalty. I thought Kaylin Carson was good. It's a weird thing to say when they threw at him, I believe, 5 times and all 5 were catches, but for an average of 6 yards. So whatever, only one of them was any sort of a reasonable gain. But in terms of after they threw 2 balls on him early where he was just a tick late. And after that, I feel like he settled in and he was in the hip pocket. He tackled really well. He did everything well. Kaylin Carson, that's a good preseason start. He's off to a good start. Kaylin Carson can play NFL football tomorrow. They could absolutely do that. Would Dan Quinn trade us Ridgeway since he hates nose tackles? Maybe for one of his boys, Fehoko or Scott? That would be amazing. That would be amazing. People are hard on Scott. Well, I don't like being mean to anybody. I was about to say, well, he's not very good. He's a Dan Quinn guy that probably got overdrafted. That he's made more plays in camp than I thought he would have. But he wasn't good out there yesterday. And if he plays every special team, okay, I guess he could be on the team. But hopefully Booth has something, and that could be your 5th corner. You're in a good spot having 4 good. Well, is it fair to call Lewis and Carson good NFL? Yeah, sure. I think they're 4 deep at corner with guys that can play. And I think a lot of teams would like to have that, but I want a 5th one just in case, because you're going to keep at least 5. So I would like one more. I'm worried about the running back position from Allen. I can see that. Rico's good. There's a chance that Rico is quite good and that everybody's dismissing a really good running back. But yeah, everything else, meh. Nathaniel Pete's interesting, but I don't see how they can put him on the team because they signed Zeke. I guess they could cut Freeman and Deuce and go Rico, Zeke, Pete. What am I missing? Doesn't matter. It's not a very good running back room. Rams had over 100 yards rushing. Yeah, the defensive tackles on this team are not very good. Thought we'd already established that. So there's that. Wasn't it Scott who missed a tackle on Whittington for that long catch? Yes, it was. He had a dumb late hit. Yes. They can't take carries away from Zeke. That would be admitting they were wrong. Ugh. I know. I don't want to talk about Zeke because people think I hate him. Why would I hate a player? Like, what would be the reasoning for me being positive on a player if it's not that he's good, or being negative on a player if it's not that he's bad? I'm not sure. But Jeff hates Zeke. No, they shouldn't have re-signed a guy who they're still paying dead money to because they cut him because he wasn't good anymore. You bring him back years later and you're going to force him on the roster and force the ball in his hands? What? But he's wearing a New Jersey number. Make sure you get your number 15s, ladies and gentlemen. Any other notes Jeff has from all 22? Let's see. I like Golston better as an edge player than as a defensive tackle. When he's out there, he's a good run defender. When he's inside, he's an awful run defender. But again, they just don't have the defensive tackles to let him play out there all the time. Junior Fehoko blowing off the ball all day. Overshown athletic ability. Mazy early, showing violence and technique. I think we covered it. I think we have successfully covered preseason game number 1. 65-yard field goal try. What was the point? Because why the hell not? It's the preseason. Jeff, this haircut looks sweet on you. This haircut is called, well, I guess I did get a haircut, but this hair is called, your boy woke up, hung out for about an hour, went to Chipotle, came back, watched film of the game, and hit go live. But thank you. Okay. All right, everybody have a wonderful day. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. And remember that I love you. Be easy.